So this is the perpetual time zone charts. Now, it's not required that you use these times for your meetings, but should you want these, they will help you. This is the time which we have found. Let me show you another document. What this is that we have looked at all of the different regions that we have. Now, they're not all here because, for example, I've got the East Coast where I live, we've got the West Coast, we've got Hawaii. So we're jumping a few time zones. We've got New Zealand and Australia and so on, and all the way over to Baku. But what I'm trying to show you here are the red zones. So these red zones are times of the day when we would not ask people to meet. And I consider 5 a.m. to be a red zone, 2 a.m. for sure, midnight for sure. Okay, so these are times when we don't want to meet if we can help it, because somebody in our region is going to have to be up in the middle of the night. Okay, so you can see that as we go through the hours of the day, the red zones move, but there's always red zones until we get to the next page, which is 10 p.m. where I live, and it's a yellow time. This is not an ideal time for me. It's not an ideal time for Baku. So it kind of represents it's the 2 hours of the day when there's nothing red on our chart. Now, I know that Sini lives in Qatar, and that is not on this list because, and that's one of the reasons we never added Qatar as a member country, because when we have so many time zones, we can't accommodate all of them. So we try to accommodate our member countries. And if you happen to be on a committee with Sini, you certainly will want to be sure to take her time zone into account. But in general, the time zones that we have available that don't have any red are these 2 times of the day. And then you can see the rest of them start with red again. And that's 24 hours. So that's how we chose the times. Okay, so what is this? This is a little strange. What this is that in the winter, we know that that's part of our region, New Zealand and Australia, has daylight savings time, and the rest of the region does not. The rest of our member countries do not. In the spring and fall, there's a transition month. So in the spring, it's March and the very beginning of April. And in the fall, it's October and the very beginning of November. And those dates change. So I can't say which day it is. Every year it's a different date. But during those times, we have daylight savings time in North America and daylight savings time in New Zealand and Australia also. That's for 1 month. That's for 1 month in the spring and 1 month in the fall. And then in the summer, we go back to a simpler schedule where we have daylight savings time in North America and not at all in the Asian and Pacific regions. So if you use these time zone charts, you can make sure that you've got the right times for each of the countries in our membership.